Welcome to the Such Stuff Players presentation of Henry V.
The chorus is not really a character, he's more a narrator.
The play starts with the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Bishop of Ely thinking of how they can get King Henry to declare war to France.
When the Dauphin sends a gift of tennis balls, which is an outright insult, Henry decides that that is a good time to return to war.
Bardolph, Nym, and Pistol are all commoners, people who were quite close to King Henry in his younger days. Pistol and Nym have a bit of a rivalry between them over a nail quickly. Bardolph tries to get the two of them to be friends again so that the three of them can go off to battle together as friends.
The three traitors are plotting to kill the king. And then they get found out and
The traitors were executed.
An Exeter is sent by King Henry to give the French king a message of war.
So Catherine is the French princess, and the French offer the English her hand in marriage, but the English refuse it. She is probably going to get married to him anyways, so she tries to learn English.
The ladies in waiting don't think the princess is doing a good job learning English.
One of the more prominent speeches in Henry V is the "Once more into the breach. We should go back into the town of Harfleur and continue fighting."
It's one of his first true kingly moments.
Everybody else goes pouring into the breach, but Bardolph, Pistol, and Nym, and the boy, and they can't bring themselves to do it because they're cowards.
King Henry and his men attacked the city of Harfleur and managed to force the governor of Harfleur to give over the town.
King of France, the two dukes, finally realizing that the English really are a threat, that they really are a force to be reckoned with.
Nym was caught robbing. Pistol wanted to beg Fluellen for his life. When Fluellen said that he deserved it, Pistol didn't like Fluellen.
now the English are tired and out of shape, but the English aren't surrendering against the French.
The night before the battle, and the French are sitting around drinking and boasting, especially the Dauphin. He is overconfident of himself.
So the night before the big battle, Henry put a big cloak on, and some of the men talk to him and they don't know that he's the king.
King Henry learns that the English are greatly outnumbered, and then he gives the famous speech about St. Crispian's Day, and then he rouses the troops into war.
There's a French soldier, and Pistol catches him and threatens to kill him. But the French soldier pleads for his mercy. The boy is following Bardolph, Nym, and Pistol all through the battle. He's noticed that they're not good people to hang out with, and he's killed cruelly by the French, so he doesn't really get to grow up.
Then Montjoy the herald comes. Montjoy tells him that the French have actually lost and the English have won.
Fluellen is wearing a leek in his hat. Pistol has been mocking Fluellen throughout the whole play. Fluellen finally decides to teach Pistol a lesson and beats him up and makes him eat a leek.
Henry gives the French his list of demands. One of them is the French Princess Catherine, whom he woos, and everyone lives happily ever after.
Yes, thank you for coming.
packed, and monarchs to behold the swelling sea. Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or may we cram within this wooden O the very casks that did affright the heritage of England? Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined two mighty monarchies, whose high, upreared and abutting fronts the perilous narrow ocean parts asunder. Think, when we talk of horses, that you see them, printing their proud hoofs hither receiving their own. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er tides, turning the accomplishments of many years into an hourglass, with which supply admit me course to this history, who prologue like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
My lord, I'll tell you that self-bill is urged, which in the 11th year of the last king's reign was light, and had indeed against us passed, but that the scambling and unquiet time did push it out of further question.
But how, my lord, shall we resist it now?
Thus be thought on. If it pass against us, we lose the better half of our possession.
This would drink deep.
Would drink the cup and all.
But what prevention?
The king is full of grace and fair regard,
and a true lover of the holy church.
The courses of his youth promise it not. The breath no sooner left his father's body, that his wildness mortified him, seemed to die too. Yea, at that very moment, consideration, like an angel, came and whipped Adam out of him, leaving his body as a paradise.
We are blessed in the change. But how now, my good lord, for mitigation of this bill urged by the commons? Doth his majesty incline to it, or no?
He seems indifferent, or rather swaying more upon our part than cherishing the exhibitors against us.
What was the impediment that broke this off?
The French ambassador upon that instant prayed the audience, and the hour I think has come to give him hearing. Is it 4 o'clock?
It is.
Then know we know his embassy, for I have made an offer to his majesty as touching France.
Shall we call in the French ambassador, my liege?
Not yet, my cousin. We would be resolved, before we hear him, of some things of weight that task our thoughts concerning us and France.
God and his angels guard your sacred throne, and make you long become it.
Sure we thank you, my learned lord. We pray you to proceed and justly and religiously unfold why the lawful league that they have in France, or should not bar us in our claim. Therefore take heed how you impugn our person, how you awake our sleeping sword of war. We charge you in the name of God, take heed. For never two such kingdoms did contend without much fall of blood.
Then hear me, gracious sovereign. There is no bar to make against your highness claim to France, but this, which they produce from Barmont. In terram salad familiarities next to see them. No woman shall succeed in salad land, yet their own authors faithfully affirm that the salad land is in Germany. Then doth the well year the salad law was not revised in France, nor did the French possess the salad land.
May I with right and conscience make this claim.
The sin of our mind, grand daughter. Stand for your own. Unwind your bloody flag.
Your brother kings and monarchs of the earth do all expect that you should rouse yourself, as did the former lions of your blood.
We know your grace hath cause, and means, and might. Never King of England had no his hearts have left their bodies here in England and lied pavilion to the fields of France.
Oh, let their bodies follow, my dear liege, with blood and sword and fire, to win your right.
Call in the messenger sent from the Dauphin. Now are we well resolved, and by God's help and yours, the noble sinews of our power, France being ours, will bend it to our awe, or break it all to pieces. Now are we well prepared to know the pleasure of our fair cousin Dauphin, for we hear your greeting is from him, not from the king.
May it please your majesty to give us leave freely to render what we have in charge.
We are no tyrant, but a Christian king. Therefore, with frank and uncurbed plainness, tell us the Dauphin's mind.
Your Highness, lately sending into France, did claim some sort of duties in the right of your great predecessor, King Edward III. In answer to which claim, the Prince or Master says that you savor too much of your youth. And be ye be advised, there's not France that can be with a nimble galliard one. You cannot run on to dukedom there. He therefore took you meet for your spirit, this ton of treasure, and in lieu of this, desires you, with the dukedom that you came here no more of you. This the Dauphin speaks.
What treasure, uncle?
Tennis balls, my liege.
We are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His presence and your pains we thank you for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will in France, by God's grace, play a set, shall strike his father's crown into the hazard. Tell him that we understand him well, how he comes o'er us with our wilder days, not measuring what use he liveth. But tell the Dauphin, I will keep my state, be like a king, and show my sail of greatness, when I do rouse me in my throne of France. And tell the pleasant prince, this mock of his hath turned his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged for the wasteful vengeance that shall fly with them. For many 1,000 widows shall this his mock out of their dear husbands, mock mothers from their sons, mock castles down. And some are yet ungotten and unborn that shall have cause to curse the Dauphin's sword. So get you hence in peace, and tell the Dauphin, his jest will savor but a shallow wit when thousands weep more than did laugh at it. Convey him with safe conduct. Fare you well.
This was a merry message.
We hope to make the sender blush at it. Therefore, my lords, admit no happy hour that may give furtherance to our expedition, for we have now no thought in us but France.
Now all the youth of England are on fire, and the silken dalliance in the wardrobe lies. They sell the pasture now to buy the horse, for since now expectation in view, and hides a sword from hilts to the point, with crowns imperial, crowns and coronets promised to Harry and his followers.
Well, let's go on then, more or less, Lieutenant Bardolph.
What?
ancient pistol new friends yet?
For my part, I care not. I say little, but when time shall serve, there shall be smiles.
I will bestow breakfast to make you friends, and we'll all be 3 sworn brothers. Let it be so, good couple, then.
Faith, I will live so long as I may. That's the certain of it.
And it is certain, couple, that he is married to Nell quickly, and certainly she did you wrong, for you were chocolate to her. Here comes ancient pistol and his wife. Good couple, be patient here.
How now, my host?
Hey, type, callest thou me host? Now, by this hand, I swear I scorn the term, nor shall my Nell keep lodgers.
No, but my troth, not long. We cannot lodge and board a desert of 14 gentlemen that live honestly by the prick of their needles. But it will be thought we keep a body house strict.
Good couple, good lieutenant, all for nothing here.
Hey, shush, for the Iceland dog! The prettier cur of Iceland!
Corporal Nim, show thy valor and put up your sword!
Shall all having stolen.
Soulless, a gracious dog! Oh, viper vile!
I'll break their guts a little fair terms of their name.
Ah, braggart vile and damn furious wight!
Hear me what I say. He that strike first stroke, I'll win my hilt. I am a soldier.
I'll cut that throat. One time or another, that is the humor of it.
Why, no, it's pistol. You must come to my master Falstaff. And you too, hostess. He is very sick and went to bed.
By my troth, the king has killed his heart. Good husband, come home presently.
Come, shall I make you 2 friends? We must have France together. Why the devil should he keep knives to cut one of those throats?
You'll pay me the 8 shillings of one of you a betting?
Pays is the slave that pays.
That now I'll have. That's the humor of it.
As manhood shall compound, push home!
By this sword, he that makes first thrust, I'll kill him. By this sword I will, couple them, and thou wilt be friends. Be friends, and thou wilt not. Why then be enemies with me too? Prithee, put up!
I shall have my 8 shillings of one of you a betting.
Give me thy
I
hand.
shall have my noble.
Cash! Most justly paid.
As ever you came of a woman, come in quickly to Sir John. Ah, poor heart, he is so shaken over burning quotidian tertian that it is most lamentable to behold. Sweet men, come to him.
The king hath run bad humors on the night. That's the even of it.
Nim, thou hast spoke the right. His heart is fracted and corroborate. Let us condole the night. For, Watkins, we will live!
For God, the king is bold to trust these traitors.
They shall be apprehended by and
How smooth and even they do bear themselves, as if allegiance in them was a sash, crowned with faith and constant loyalty.
The king has note of all that they intend, by the deception which they dream thereof.
Now sits the wind fair, and we will aboard. And you, my gentlemen, give me your thoughts. Think you not that the powers we bear with us will cut their passage through the force of France?
No doubt, lady, should each man do his best. Never was a monarch better feared and loved than is your majesty.
True. Those that were your father's enemies have steeped their galls in honey, and do serve you with hearts create, of duty and of zeal.
We therefore have great cause of thankfulness. Uncle Exeter, enlarged the man committee yesterday that railed against our person. We consider it was excess of wine that set him on, and on his more advice we pardon him.
That's mercy. But too much security. Then it will be punished, softly, as the example be by acceptance for such a person.
Oh, let us yet be merciful.
So may your highness and yet punish too.
You show great mercy to give life, after the taste much correction.
Alas, your too much love and care of me are heavy orsons against this poor wretch. If little faults, proceeding on distemper, shall not be winked at, how shall we stretch our eye when capital crimes, chewed, swallowed, and digested, appear before us? And now to our French causes. Who are the late commissioners?
I want my lord.
And I my royal sovereign.
Then they're yours, and Sir Knight, Grey of Northumberland, this same is yours. Read them and know I know your worthiness. My Lord of Westmoreland and Uncle Lecter, we will aboard tonight. Why, how now, gentlemen? What see you in those papers that you lose so much complexion? Look ye how they change, their cheeks are paper. Why, what read you there that hath so cowarded and chased your blood out of the purest?
I do confess my fault and do submit me to your highness's mercy, to which we all appeal.
The mercy that was quick enough but late, by your own counsel is suppressed and killed. You must not dare for shame to talk of mercy. See you, my princes and my noble peers, these English monsters. For these men have for a few light crowns lightly conspired and sworn unto the practices of France to kill us here in Hampton. But oh, what shall I say to thee, Lord Scroope? Thou cruel, ingrateful, savage, and inhuman creature! I will weep for thee, for this revolt of thine, methinks, is like another fall of men. Their faults are open. Arrest them to the answer of the law.
I arrest thee of high treason by the name of Richard, Earl of Cambridge. I arrest thee of high treason by the name of Henry, Lord Scroope of Masham. I arrest thee of high treason by the name of Thomas Grey, Knight of Northumberland.
I repent my fault more than my debt, which I beseech your highness. Beseeching God and you to pardon me.
Never did faithful subject more rejoice at the discovery of most dangerous treason than I do at this hour. For myself.
God quit you in his mercy. Hear your sentence. You have conspired against our royal person, wherein you would have sold your king to slaughter, his princes and his peers to servitude, his subjects to oppression and contempt, and his whole kingdom into desolation. Poor, miserable wretches, to your death!
Away with you traitors!
And now, lords, for France, the enterprise whereof shall be to you as us, like glorious.
Crazy, honey, sweet husband, let me bring thee to stay.
No, my manly heart doth yearn. Nymph, be blithe, rouse thy bonding veins. Boy, bristle thy courage up.
Shall we, Shog? The king will be gone from Southampton.
Come, lift away, my love. Give me thy hand.
I cannot kiss. That's the humor of it.
Farewell! Adieu!
The French, advised by good intelligence of this most dreadful preparation, shake in their fear and with pale policies seek to divert the English purposes.
Thus comes England with full power upon us. And more than carefully, us concerns to answer royally in our defenses. Therefore the Dukes of Berry and Bretagne shall make forth,
And you, Prince Dauphin, with all swift dispatch, to wind and new repair our towns of war, with men of courage and with means defendants. For England, whose approaches makes as fierce as water to the sucking of a gull.
My most redoubted father, it is most meet we arm us against the foe, for peace itself should not so dull a kingdom. Therefore, I say 'tis meet we all go forth to view the sick and feeble parts of France, and let us move with no short view, no, with no more than if we heard that England were busy with the wits and more states. For my good liege, she is so idly king that fear attends her on.
Oh, peace, Prince Dauphin. We were too much mistaken in this king. Question, your grace. The late ambassadors, with what great state yearned their embassy? How well supplied with noble counselors? How modest in exception, and withal, how terrible in constant resolution.
Think we King Harry strong, and princes, look ye strongly armed to meet him. The kindred of him hath been fleshed upon us, and he is bred out of that bloody strain that haunted us in our familiar paths.
Ambassadors, your majesty, from Harry, King of England.
Go and bring them. You see this Jesus help me fold, my friends.
Turn head and stop the suit. Good my sovereign, take up the English short, and let them know of what a monarchy you are the head.
From our brother England?
From him. And thus he greets your majesty. He wills you in the name of God Almighty that you divest yourself and lay apart the borrowed glories that by gift of heaven, by law of nature and of nations, belong to him and to his heirs, namely the crown, and all wide-stretched arms that pertain by custom and the ordinance of times unto the crown of France. He bids you then resign your crown and kingdom, indirectly held from him, the native and true challenge.
Or else what follows?
Bloody constraint. If you hide the crown even in your parts, there he will rake for it. Therefore, in fierce tempest he is coming, in thunder and in earthquake, like a Jove, then requiring fail, he will compel. This is his claim, his threatening, and my message. Must the Dauphin be in presence here, to whom expressly I bring greeting to.
I stand here for him. What took him from England?
Scorn and defiance, slight regard, contempt, and anything that may not misbecome the mighty sender, doth he prize you at. Thus says my king, and if your father's highness do not in grant of all demands large, sweeten the bitter mock you sent his majesty. He'll call you to so hot an answer of it, that caves and roomy voltages of France shall chide your trespass, and return your mock.
Say, if my father were the fair return, it is against my will, for I desire nothing but all to England. To that end, as matching to his youth and vanity, I did present him with Paris balls.
He'll make your Paris Louvre shake for it, and be assured you'll find a difference, as we his subjects having wonder found, between the promise of his greener days and these he masters now.
Tomorrow you shall know our mind at full.
Dispatches with all speed, lest that our king come here himself to question our delay, for he is footed in this land already.
Thus, with imagined wing, our swift scene flies in motion, no less celerity than that thought. Suppose you have seen the well-appointed king encamped here. Embark his royalty and his brave fleet. Play with your fancies, and in them behold, upon the hempen tackle ship boys climb. Hear the shrill whistle which doth order give to sounds confused. Behold, the threatened sails borne with the invisible and creeping wind draw the huge bottom through the furrowed sea. Work your thoughts in there and see a siege! Follow, follow. Suppose the messenger from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Catherine his daughter, and with her to dowry some petty and unprofitable duties. The offer likes not.
Alice, toi d'Angleterre, et tu partais de là. Madame, je te prie m'enseigner. Il faut que je prenne l'appareil. Comment appelez-vous la main en anglais? La main? Elle est appelée de hand. Du hand. Et le doigt? Les doigts? Ma foi, j'oublie les doigts. Mais je me souviens très. Les doigts? Je pense qu'ils sont appelés de fingres. Oui, de fingres. La main du hand. Les doigts de fingres. Je pense que je suis le bon écuyer. Je gagne tout mon rapidement. Comment appelez-vous les ongles? Les ongles? Nous les appelons de nails. De nails. Écoutez, dites-moi si je parle bien de ongles, de fingers et de nails. C'est bien dit, madame. C'est du bon anglais. Dites-moi l'anglais pour le bras. De arm, madame. Et le coude? De elbow. De elbow. Je m'en fais la répétition de tous les mots que vous avez appris à présent. Il est trop difficile, madame, comme je pense. Excusez-moi, Alice, écoutez. Du hand, de fingre, de nail, de arm, d'appel. Je m'en oublie de elbow. Comment appelez-vous? Les coudes. De nick, madame. Et mon temps? De chin. De sin. Non. De chin. De sin? Oui. Vous prononcez des mots aussi forts que les natifs. Je ne dis pas d'apprendre le grave de lui et au politesse. N'avez-vous pas déjà oublié ce que je vous ai enseigné? Non, je présenterai à vous contenir du hand, de fingre, de nails, de arm, d'île. C'est dirige de elbow, de neck et de sin. Comment appelez-vous de pied? Oh, Seigneur Dieu! Ce sont mes sang mauvais, corruptibles, grosses et impudiques. Et non que le diable ne désire. Je ne voudrais pas cesser mon divan, le Seigneur de France, pour tout le monde. Oh. Mais moi, je resterai une autre fois renaissance. Du hand, de fingre, de nail, de arm, de elbow, de neck, de chin et de foot. Excellent, madame. C'est assez pour moi. Un ami à
Once more under the breach, dear friend, once more, or close the wall up with our English debt. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored
rage. Then lends the eye a terrible aspect. Follow your spirits, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George!
On to the breach. The knocks are too hot, and for my own part, I am not a case of lies. The humor of it is too hot. That is a very plain song of it.
Plain song is most just, for humors do abound. Nuns come and go, God's vessels drop and die. And sword and shield and blood, the field doth win immortal fame.
Would I were an alehouse in London, I would give all my pay for a hot veil and safety.
If wishes would prevail with me, my purpose should not fail with me. And to the wood I hie.
As duly, but not as truly, as a bird does sing on bough.
Up to the breach, you dogs! Above you, Callion!
God, face thy rage! You wedding, sweet child!
As young as I am, I have observed these three squashers. For Bartle, he's white-livered and red-faced. For Pistol, he has a killing tongue and a quiet sword. For Nim, his few bad words are matched with his few good deeds. For I never broke any man's head but his own, and that was against a post, but he was drunk. They would steal anything and call it purchase. They would have me as familiar with men's pockets as their gloves or their handkerchiefs, which makes much against my manhood. If I should take from another's pocket to put in mine, that is plain pocket of a bronze. I must leave them and seek some better service. Their villainy goes against my weak stomach.
How yet resolved the governor of the town? This is the latest parley we will admit. If I begin the battery once again, I will not leave the half a cheetah floor till in her ashes she lie bury it. What say you? Will you yield and this avoid, or guilty in defense be thus destroyed?
The Dauphin, whom of circus we entreated, returned. The powers are not yet ready to raise so great a siege. Therefore, great King, we yield our town and our lives to thy soft mercy. Enter our gates, dispose of us and ours, for we no longer are defensible.
Go, Uncle Exeter, and enter Harfleur. Take with you a few men, and there fortify it strongly against the French.
I assure you, there is very excellent services committed at the bridge.
Is the Duke of Exeter safe?
The Duke of Exeter is as magnanimous as Agamemnon. He is not to God be praised and blessed any person in the world, but keeps the bridge most valiantly with excellent discipline. As an officer lieutenant at the bridge, I think in my very conscience he is as valiant a man as Mark Antony. And he is a man of no estimation in the world, but to see him do as gallant service.
What do you call it?
He is called Ancient Pistol.
I know it not.
He is the man.
Captain, I beseech thee, do me favors. Duke of Exeter doth love thee well?
Aye.
Nim, soldier, sound and firm of heart. Fortune is not Nim's friend and frowns on him. For he has stolen a pass and hanged the beast. For Exeter hath given the doom of death for passive little price. Therefore go speak, the Duke will hear thy voice, and let not Nim's bridle
understand your meaning. Well, if, look you are my brother, I would desire the Duke to use his good pleasure, and put him to execution. But discipline ought to be used.
Times! Damned! Big up for thy friendship.
It is well.
The biggest
Very
thing!
good.
This is an Eric counterfeit rascal. I remember him now. A bawd, a piper.
I'll assure you, let us pray words of the prince, as you shall see in a summer's day. But that is well. What he has spoken to me, that is well. I warrant you when time is served.
This is a gull, a fool, a rogue, and now and then goes to war to grace himself and his return to London under the form of a soldier.
I tell you what, Captain Gow, I will perceive he is not the man that you gladly make show to the world he is. If I find a hole in his coat, I will tell him my mind.
Tis certain he has passed the river Somme.
And if we cannot fight with all, my lord, let us not live in France. Let us quit all and give our vineyards to a barbarous people.
Where is Montjoy the herald? Speed him hence. Let him greet England with our sharp defiance. Up, princes, and with spear about our heads, more sharper than your swords. Hie to the field.
This becomes the great. Sorry am I, his numbers are so few. His soldiers sick and famished in the march. For I am sure, when he shall see our army, he'll chop it out into this sinker field, and for achievement offer us his ransom.
Therefore, Lord Constable, haste on Montjoy, and let him say to England that we send to know what will ransom he will give. Prince Dauphin, you shall stay with us in Rouen.
Not sorry to beseech your
Be
majesty.
patient, for you shall remain with us. Now forth, Lord Constable, and princes all, and quickly bring us word of England's fall.
Mark you, the king is coming, and I must speak with him.
'Tis a gallant king.
Aye, he was born at Monmouth, Captain Gow. What will be the town's name where Alexander the Pig was born?
Alexander the Great. Here comes the master.
God bless your majesty.
How now, Fluellen? Camest thou from the bridge?
Aye, so please your majesty. The Duke of Exeter hath very gallantly maintained the bridge. I can tell your majesty the Duke is a brave man.
What men have you lost, Fluellen?
I think the Duke hath lost never a man, but one that is like to be executed for robbing a church. One name.
Mary, we would have all such offenders so cut off. You know me by habit. Well then, I know thee. What shall I know of thee?
My master's mind.
Unfold it.
Thus says my king. Sit down to Eric, England. Though we seem dead, we did but sleep. And now we speak upon our hue and our voice is imperial. English Europeans folly. Bid him therefore consider his ransom, which must of course be lost to be foreign. To this add the crimes that for conclusion tell them, if betrayed is called, his condemnation is pronounced. For my king master shall not go off.
What is thy name? I know thy quality.
Montjoy.
Thou dost thy office fairly. Turn thee back and tell thy king I do not seek him now, but could be willing to march on to Calais without impeachment. For, to say the sooth, though 'tis no wisdom to confess so much to an enemy of craft advantage, my people are with sickness much enfeebled. My numbers lessened, and those few I have, almost no better than so many French, who when they were in health, I tell thee, Harold, I thought upon one pair of English legs, did march 3 Frenchmen. There's for thy labor, Montjoy. Go, bid thy master well advise himself. We would not seek a battle as we are. Yet, as we are, we say we will not shun it. Go tell your master.
I shall deliver so. Thanks to your highness.
I hope they do not come upon us now.
We are in God's hands, soldier, not in theirs. March to the bridge. It draws towards night.
Now entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark filled the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of the line stillly sounds. Fire answers fire, and through their paving flames, each battle sees the others on the face. The confident and overlusty French, to the low-rated English play at dice, and shy political tardy England, who like a foul, ugly witch have been so tediously away.
Tut, I have the best armor in the world. What were they?
You have an excellent armor, but let my horse have to do.
Indeed,
It is the best horse in Europe.
will it never be morning?
My Lord Barry, and my Lord Batten, you talk of horse and armor.
You are as well provided as cook, any cook in the world.
What a long night is this. I will not change my horse with any that sheds but on 4 pastons. Ha! He bounds the earth as if his anxious as a hare's. There's Chavalvona, the Pegasus, with nostrils of flame. When I bestride him, I soar. I'm a hawk. He trots the air. The earth sings when he touches it. The basest horns of his hoof is more musical than the pipe of Hermes.
Indeed, my lord, it is the most excellent and absolute horse.
He is pure air and fire, and the dull elements of earth and water never appear, but only in patient stillness was rider mounted. He is indeed a horse, and all other jades you may call beasts.
No more, cousin.
I once writ a sonnet in his praise, and began thus. Wonder of
My
nature.
lord constable, you remember that assigned you take tonight. Were those suns or stars upon it? Stars, my lord.
'Tis midnight. I'll go home myself.
No business. Longs for morning. Longs to eat the English. He never did harm that I heard of. Nor will do none tomorrow. But keep that good name still. It is time to arm. Shall we go bit?
The poor condemned English, like sacrifices by their watchful fires, sit patiently and inly ruminate the wrong thing. Oh yeah, who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent? Let him cry praise and glory on his head. Forth he goes, and visits all his hosts. Bids them good morrow with modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. His liberal mind doth give to every one, thawing cold fear that mean and gentle all behold, as manner means to find. A little touch of Harry in the night.
Westmoreland, 'tis true we are in great danger. The greater, therefore, should our courage be. Good morrow, Uncle Exeter. A good soft pillow for that good head were better than a churlish jerk of France.
Not so, my liege. This lodging likes me better, since I may say, now lie I like a king.
Shall I take your grace? No, my good knight. Go with my brothers to my lords of England. I and my bosom must debate a while, and then I would know their company. God a mercy, old heart. Thou speakest cheerfully. Give a lot, a friend. Guth unto me. Art thou an officer, or art thou base, common, and popular? I am a gentleman of company. What are you? Good a man as the emperor. Then you are better than the king. King's a baw cock, and a heart of gold. Parents good, and a fist most valiant. I kiss his dirty shoe. From the heartstrings, I love the lovely bully. What is thy name? Harry. Leroy. Leroy. Cornish name.
Art thou of Cornish crew?
No, I'm a Welshman.
Art thou Llewellyn? Yes.
Tell him I'll knock his fleet. Paint!
My lord, your nobles, jealous of your absence, seek through your camp to find you.
Good old knight. Collect them all together at my tent. I'll be before you.
I shall do it, my lord.
O God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts. Possess them not with fear. Take from them now their sense of reckoning if the opposed numbers pluck their hearts from them. Not today, O Lord, oh, not today.
My liege.
My Uncle Exeter's voice. I know thy errand.
Of fighting men they have full 300,000.
There's 5 to 1. Besides, they all are fresh.
God's arm strike with us. 'Tis a fearful odds. God be with you, princes all. I'll to my charge. No more meets till we meet in heaven. Been joyfully, warriors all. Adieu.
Oh, that we now had here but 1/10,000 of those men in England that do no work today.
What's he that wishes so?
My cousin Westmoreland?
No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. No, faith, my cousin, wish not a man from England. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispian. Then will he strip his sleeves and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here.
My sovereign lord, bestow yourself with speed. The French are bravely in their battle set and will with all expedients charge on us.
All things are ready if our minds be shown.
Once more I come to know of thee, King Harry, before their ransom thou now compelled, before thy most assured overthrow.
Who has sent thee now?
Thee go thank.
I pray thee, bear my former answer back. Bid them achieve me and then sell my bones. Good God! Why should they mock poor fellows thus? Let me speak proudly. Tell the Dauphin we are but warriors for the working day. But by the mass our hearts are in the trim. And my poor soldiers tell me that ere night they'll be in fresher robes, or they will pluck the gay new coats or the French soldiers' heads and turn them out of service. If they do this, as God please they shall, my ransom then will soon be levied. Harold, save thou thy life. Come thou no more for ransom, gentle Harold. They shall have none, I swear, but these my joints, which if they have, as I will leave 'em them,
shall yield them little. Tell the Dauphin.
I shall, King Harry, and so fare thee well. Thou never shalt know peril any more.
I fear thou'lt once more come again for ransom.
My lord, most humbly on my knee, I beg the leading of the vanguard.
Take it, brave York. Now, soldiers, march away, and how thou pleasest God, dispose the day!
What is their name? Art thou a gentleman? Ask me the slave in French. What is his name?
Écoutez comment est Buzehead au ciel of Fair. He says his name is Master Fur.
Master Fur! Oh, fur him! And furk him! And ferret him! Discuss the same French to him.
I do not know French for fur and fair and fur.
For I will cut his throat. Peasant, must thou pay me crowns, brave crowns, or mangled shalt thou be by this my sword.
Oh, je vous supplie, pour l'amour de Dieu, de pardonner. Je prie mon âme de pardonner.
What are his words?
He prays you to save his life. He is a gentleman of a good health, and for his ransom he'll give you 200 crowns.
Tell him my fury shall abate, and I the crowns will take. Follow me!
I never know so full of boys. Issue from its empty heart. But the saying is true. The empty vessel makes the greatest sound. For Bardolph and Nim had 10 times more valor than this roaring devil.
Shame, an eternal shame, nothing but shame. Let us die in honor. Once more back again.
Well have we done, my valiant countrymen, but all's not done yet. Keep the French the field.
The Duke of York commends him to your majesty.
Lives he, good uncle? Thrice within this hour I saw him down, thrice up again in fighting. From helmet to spur, all blood he was.
In which array brave soldier doth he lie, larding the plain and by his bloody side. The Earl of Suffolk also lies. But hark, the new alarm is the same. The French have reinforced our scattered men.
Kill the boys and their luggage. This is expressly against the law of arms. This is and a piece of knavery, mark you now, that can be offered. In your conscience now, is it not?
'Tis true there's not a boy left alive. Therefore, most worthily, cause every soldier to cut his prisoner's throat.
I was not angry since I came to France until this instant. We'll cut the throats of those we have, and not a man of them that we shall taste our mercy. Go tell them so!
There comes the herald of the French, my liege.
His eyes are humbler than we believe.
How I know not if the day be ours or no.
The day is yours.
What is this castle called that stands hard by?
They call it Agincourt.
Then call we this the field of Agincourt, fought on the day of Crispianus.
Your grandfather of famous memory, increase your majesty, and your great uncle, Edward the Black, Prince of Wales, as I have read in the chronicles, and fought the most brave battle here in France.
They did, Llewellyn.
Your majesties has been true. If your majesties have remembered of it, the Welshmen did good service in the garden where leeks did grow, and wearing leeks in their Monmouth caps, which your majesty knows was ours in honorable battle service. And I do believe your majesty takes no scorn to wear the leek upon St. Patrick's Day.
I wear it for memorable honor, for I am Welsh, you know, good country.
Oh, water and wine cannot wash your majesty's much blood out of your body. I can tell you that.
Thanks, good my country. Now, Harold, are the dead numbered?
Here, the number of the slaughtered French.
This note doth tell me of 10,000 French that in the field lie slain. Here was a royal fellowship of death. Where is the number of our English dead? Edward, the Duke of York, the Earl of Suffolk, Sir Richard Ketley, Davy Gam, Esquire. None else of name, and of all others but 25. Oh God, when without stratagem, but in plain shock and even play of battle, was ever known so great and little loss on one part and on the other.
'Tis wonderful.
Come, go we in procession to the village, and be it death proclaimed throughout our host to boast of this, or take the praise from God, which is his only. Let there be sung non nobis and Te Deum, the dead with charity enclosed in clay. And then to Calais, and to England then, where ne'er from France arrived more happy men.
Vouchsafe to those who have not read the story, but I may prompt them. For those who have, I humbly pray them to admit the excuse of time, of numbers, and due course of things. which cannot in their huge and proper lives be here presented. Now we bear the king towards Calais. Grant him there, so let him land, and see him solemnly set on to London. How London doth pour out her citizens. The emperor is come, in behalf of France, to work a peace between them, and omit all the occurrences, whatever chance, till Harry's back return again to France.
Nay, that's right. But why were you no late today?
There is occasions and causes why and wherefore in all things. I will tell you. The rascally, skull, lousy, bragging knave, pistol, which you and yourself and all the world know to be no better than a fellow now, look you have no merit. He has come to me and bring me bread and salt yesterday, look you, and bid me eat my leg. It was in a place where I could not breathe no contention of them, but I will be so bold as to wear my cap till I see him once again, and then I will tell him a little piece of my desires.
Here he comes, swelling like a turkey cock.
God bless you, altered pistol, you scurry, lousy knave. God bless you.
Art thou bedlam? Hence, I plummet, smell of leak.
I beseech you heartily, scurry, lousy knave, at my desires and my requests and my petitions to eat, look you, this leek. Because, look you, you do not love it, nor your affections and your appetites and your digestion does not agree with it. Therefore, I would desire you to eat it.
Not for Cadwallader and all his goats.
There is one goat for you. Will you be so good, scald knave, as to eat it?
Brave Trojan! Thou shalt die!
I will desire you to live in the meantime and eat your victuals. Come, there is sauce. You called me yesterday mountain squire, but I will make you today a squire of low degree. I pray you, fall to. If you can mortally, you can eatily.
Enough, Captain, you have astonished him.
I say, I will make him eat some part of my leek, or... I will feed his pig 4 days. But, I pray you, it is good for your green wound and your bloody coxcomb.
Must I bite?
Yes, certainly, and out of doubt and out of question too, and ambiguities.
By the leek! I will most horribly revenge. I eat!
Nay, pray you, throw none away. The skin is good for your broken coxcomb. When you take occasion to see leeks hereafter, I pray you, mock at them. That is all.
Good! Fortune play the husband with me now? News have I. My Nell is dead. Well. Ball turn! And something lean to Cuthbert and quick hand. To England will I steal, and there I'll steal!
Peace to this meeting. Health to you all.
Right joyous are we to be full of your faith, most worthy brother England, verily met.
My duty to you both, on equal love. For kings of France and England, I have labored with all my wits and my pains, and strong endeavors, that face to face, and royal eye to eye, have come greeted. Let it not disgrace me. If I demand for this royal view, what rubber impediment there is, why that the naked, poor, and mangled peace should not in our best garden of the world, our fertile friends, have her lovely visit.
If, Duke of Burgundy, you would the peace, whose want gives growth to the imperfections which you have cited, you must buy that peace with full accord to all our just demands.
The king hath heard them, but yet there is no answer made.
Well then, the peace which you before so urged lies in his answer.
I have but with a cursory eye overglanced the articles. Pleaseth your grace to appoint some of your council presently to sit with us once more with better heed to resurvey them. We will summarily pass our accept and peremptory answer.
Brother, we shall. Go, Uncle Ashford, and take with you free power to augment, alter, or ratify as your wisdom's best. Yet, leave our cousin Catherine here with us. She is our capital demand.
She hath good leave.
Most fair. Will you vouchsafe to teach a soldier terms such as will enter at a lady's ear, and plead his love suit to her gentle heart?
Your Majesty shall mock at me. I cannot speak your language.
If faith, Kate, if you will love me soundly with your French heart, I would be glad to hear you confess it brokenly with your English tongue. Do you like me, Kate?
Pardonnez-moi, I cannot tell what is like me.
An angel is like you, Kate, and you are like an angel.
Que dit-il? Que je suis semblable à les anges?
Oui, c'est votre grâce, ainsi dit-il.
Bon Dieu, les langues des enfants pleines de tromperie.
What says she, fair one? That the tongues of men are full of deceit?
Oui, that the tongues of the man is full of deceit. That is the presence.
If faith, Kate, I am glad thou canst speak no better English. For if thou couldst, thou would find me such a plain king that thou wouldst think I had sold my farm to buy my crown. Give me your answer. If faith do, and so clap hands, a bargain. How say you, lady?
The votre honneur we understand well.
Kate! I speak to thee, plain soldier. If thou canst love me for this, take me. And take me, take a soldier. Take a soldier, take a king. And what sayest thou then to my love? Speak, my fair, and fairly, I pray thee.
Is it possible that I should love the enemy of home?
No, it is not possible that you should love the enemy of France, Kate. For in loving me, you should love the friend of France. For I love France so well that I will not part with a village of it. I will have it all mine. And Kate, when France is mine, and I am yours, then yours is France, and you are mine.
I cannot tell what is that.
No, Kate? Then I shall tell thee in French, which I am sure will hang upon my tongue. Je crois sur la possession de France, et quand vous avez la possession de moi, let me see, what then? Donc, portrayed, et France, et vous êtes mienne. I shall never move thee in French unless it be to laugh at me.
C'est votre honneur. Le français que vous parlez est meilleur que l'anglais que je parle.
No, Faith, it's not. But Kate, canst thou understand thus much English? Canst thou love me?
I cannot tell.
Can any of your neighbors tell, Kate? By mine honor, in true English, I love thee. Tell me, most fair Catherine, will you have me? Come. Your answer in broken music.
for thy voice is music, and thy English broken. Therefore, Queen of all Catherine, will you have me? Nay, it shall please him well, Kate. It shall please him, Kate.
Then it shall also content.
Upon that, I kiss your hand and call you my queen. Madame, my interpreter, what says she?
It is not be the fashion for la ladies of us. I cannot help but embrasser an obligation.
To kiss.
Your Majesty entendre better que moi.
It is not the fashion for the maids in France to kiss before they are married, would she say?
Oui, vraiment.
Oh, Kate. Nice customs, courtesy to great kings. We are the makers of manners, Kate. Here comes her father.
God save your Majesty, my royal cousin. Teach our princess English.
I would have her learn, fair cousin, how perfectly I love her, and that is good English.
We have consented to all terms of reason.
Is it so, my lord's favorite?
The king hath granted every article, his daughter first, and then in sequel all, according to their firm proposed natures.
I am content. I pray you then, in love and dear alliance, and thereupon, give me your daughter.
Take her, fair son, and from her blood raise up issue to me, that the contending kingdoms of France and England, whose very shores look pale with envy of each other's happiness, may cease their hatred.
Amen.
Amen.
Thus far with rough and all unable pen, our bending author hath pursued the story. In little room, confining mighty men, mangling by starts the full course of their rolling. Small time, but in that small most greatly lived this starving, fortune made his sword, by which the world's best guard was achieved. And left of it his son, imperial lord, Henry VI, in infant bands crowned king of France and England. Did this king succeed, whose state so many had the management, that they lost France and made this England bleed? Trough our stage hath shown, and for their sake, in your fair minds, let this acceptance take. If you could help us keep on staging our plays by dropping by the donation box or snacks, and there will be question and and coffee.